Okay. How many of you know what data analysis is? Simple, very straightforward. One term is data, the other term is analysis. If you combine both of that, that becomes data analysis, right? So any kind of analysis that you do, any analysis that you do, what do you mean by analysis? Everybody understands the meaning of analysis, right? You're trying to explore something. So you have some data. If you're trying to explore that data, if you're trying to analyze the data, if you're trying to understand various aspects, if you're trying to draw some information out of that data, the process of doing that is data analysis. The field that is associated with analysis of data is called analytics. Okay. The field is called analytics. The word is data analysis. Okay. The process is data analysis. When you do data processing, when you analyze the data, that is data analytics. Clear? Now, how exactly data analysis is done? What are different kinds of analysis? So why are we analyzing the data? There are multiple reasons why we analyze the data. One of the reasons why we analyze the data is we want to understand what is happening, right? So we are collecting data. Suppose there's a small shop which is selling certain goods. Okay, it's a simple kirana shop which is selling certain goods, right? Now that kirana shop owner is also doing data analysis, right? He's taking care of his profits, he's taking care of his losses that is happening on a daily basis or on a monthly basis. He's trying to understand what kind of inventory does he have, right? For a certain specific item, does he have the inventory, or does he need to, ask the dealer or the distributor to send out that particular item to them? Yes, correct. So any kind of analysis, right? That is a simple example of a kirana store. It can also be for any big or organization, right? So whenever you're trying to analyze the data, it you have wherever you have data, wherever you have numbers, wherever you have data coming in, you can do the analysis of data, and with that you will infer something. You want to take some insight and then use that insight to perform a task, to take a decision, right? Now that analysis of data, which is reactive, which means something has happened and now you want to know what has already happened. For example, the sales in 10 different regions for a given product. Say for example, Pepsi wants to know what was the sales of its particular product, say Pepsi bottles, across Maharashtra. Okay, that it can get in a report. It can have a report where this detail can be had, right? You and I, somebody who's working with that data, can publish a report saying that, okay, in the month of January, February, March, I mean different quarters, you had different sales, or the sale numbers, number of units that were sold can be known, right? Based on that, now the business will think whether the number is good, number is bad, why it is good, why it is bad. All of that analysis can be done only once you know that there is something, right? So when you talk of basic analysis where you're reacting to something has already happened, that's your descriptive and inferential analysis. Descriptive means you're describing what has already happened. Inferential means you're trying to infer on why something is happening. So if the sales went down, what was the reason for the sales to go down? Whether it was because of the market situations, the uh, rains came up all of a sudden. There's so many things that you can talk of. So the weather was pretty cloudy, and summers was not all that great, therefore Pepsi sales were down. Can be one simple reason. Or the availability of stock was not there, then because of that the sales actually competitor took away the lot of sales for us, right? So when you talk of any analysis of data, any kind of data you have, if you're trying to analyze the data, that's your data analysis. Fine. Any kind of analysis that you're doing on data is data analysis. It can be of various types. It can be simple descriptive, it can be inferential, which is, I mean, understanding about. So here if you talk of this part, this is about understanding. Here it's more about reporting. You're trying to create report to know what has happened. Here you're trying to do basic analysis on why something happened, right? So you're trying to understand um, the relationship between various factors. Okay, I'll talk about this relationship between factors. Okay, so output variable, how the different input variables are impacting the output variables. Once you have that understanding, you can know this. That's about data analysis. Again, there can be analysis where we want to figure out what can happen tomorrow. right? Now you don't want things to happen and take a decision. You want to proactively figure out what can happen tomorrow. On that basis, you want to take a decision today, right? So that tomorrow's customer, suppose you have certain customers which you want to, as a telecom subscriber, telecom vendor, not subscriber, as a telecom service provider, you want to know how many of your customers are going to port out to the next company, right? So if you can get those numbers, if you can get to know what kind of people are trying to port out of your business, say you are idea and you want to know how many people will move out of your network next month, and if that number is 20 lakh people, you would want to do something about it, right? Correct. And then you want to figure out what kind of pattern people actually move out, right? What kind of things do they showcase? Is it that they call customer care, look for some offers, they don't get it, they move out, or they have a lot of network problem, then they drop out? So you need to figure out what are the reasons why they're moving out, based on which you can predict, okay, at this point the network is bad, there is a very high chance that people will move out of our network, so let's try and do something about it, right? So you're trying to do things beforehand. That's your predictive modeling. That's what data science is all about. So data analysis is all about any kind of analysis that you do on data is data analysis. Process is analytics. Data science per